YouTube, this is Maury. Welcome to RC Construction Maury. Today we're going to bring you the upgrade video we've been promising for quite some time, which is the upgrade to the MOXEYs. There's two things we're going to be doing. We're going to improve the ability for the MOXEY to be able to tip by putting in some screw rams, taking away the cog ram at the back, and we want to try to improve the drive on the machines. They have dual back wheels, but only one of them receives drives from the cog. So we're going to have a look on the inside and see if we can work out a way to link the two wheels together so that we end up with four wheels driving the machine forward and give us better movement on some of the rougher conditions. So the rams that you see on here are only plastic. They don't actually lift the tub of the machine. The machine itself with these off still operates all by itself. So we'll do a couple of tests on these and see how we go. Okay, so we'll get this machine started up. Now, as you'll be able to see, the tray will come up with these two buttons here. And these actually have nothing to do with the lifting of the tub at the back. Now, to test this out, we're going to see whether or not the machine can actually lift its own weight. So for you guys that are fitters that work with these big machines, and a special shout out to my nephew Blake, who does work on these large machines as a fitter. I bet you could wish you could do this in your workshop. There we go. All right. Okay, let's give that a go and we'll see whether or not it can actually lift itself as far as the weight goes. Hang on, false start. Let's go again. Okay, so the motor doesn't like to start when it's upside down, but let's see if it can actually lift itself up off the tub. And that is a no, so we'll give it a little bit of assistance. So it's got enough strength to hold itself, but not enough strength to actually lift itself. Let's bring it back down again. Okay, so the idea is that we're going to exchange these rams here, and I've got two types of rams. So when I first tested these out, what I found is I don't have the exact fit to match this exact ram. So I can get this one to fit, but unfortunately the screw in the ram doesn't go out far enough to give me enough elevation to tip the load. So we're going to try and work out exactly where we need to fit it, or alternatively we'll go for the longer ram. We'll fit it further down the body and see if it will lift and complete the turn there. Okay, so as we can see, if we fit this ram, it's almost a perfect fit between those 2 points. However, if we extend this ram to its maximum length, you can see we're quite a bit short on what we need to actually get a full dump of the load. If we bring it back down to there, we're going to find that we're not going to be able to get all the load out when we tip the load. So we need to find a new location for it. We may look at moving the bottom end or the top end. Possibly if we were to fit the ram on the bottom here, it may work. If we bring it back down, no, that's not going to fit. So we'll try and swap over the rams. We'll go for the larger ram. So if we take the larger ram, place it in there. We'd have to remove this section. And it would put it just underneath the D. So if we then lifted it all the way up, we would see that that ram would quite easily meet the D. Screw that back in. Now the problem we may have though is we may run into troubles with the wheels, and that's not going to help us at all there, because we'll actually be coming into contact with the wheel. So we would have to have a minimum distance to connect so that we still get clearance underneath the wheel. So we'd be going in there just on the eye, I think. We connect across on the eye, and we'd probably get a connection. Bring that back down again. Can we get that to go to the eye? Not really, just because of the shape. Okay, so after looking at both sets of rams, it's obviously that the shorter ram is going to be the best option. So we may not get as much angle on the tub, but we will get a much better fit without having to do too much damage to the machine. We can use the existing pinpoints. So we'll pop that in. Now, I am limited in what I have in the way of screws, so I'm going to try to see if I can get this bottom half pinned onto the existing point. At this stage, it looks like it isn't going to go, but we'll give it a try. We may be able to get enough purchase on the bottom of this with the longer screw, but we'll see. There we are. We've got the handy dandy magic Doctor Who sonic screwdriver. And no, we have not been fortunate enough to get the purchase on that. So the right size ram, it's just a little bit too wide. I think that we do have the ability, however, to modify that. So let's take that off the top there. Okay. So if I was to take just the edge, that back edge, so where the existing hole through there is, if I take that back side off, just that thin side of the existing plastic covering for the screw ram, we should be able to get it to fit and pull up nice and neat, but still give us some movement that we will need, because as you raise and you lower the tub, it's going to be moving slightly on those pivot points, and the wires will feed back around through into the center, where we will hook into the existing wiring. So I'll just get off and get that snipped away for you. So as you can see there, we've just taken that end off, making it a little bit thinner. And while I've got it apart, I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a look. So what will happen is, because the top is pinned, as that screw on the inside turns, it will push and pull that ram in and out. So we'll put this back together again. Once again, very handy with the electronic screwdriver. Also helps that it's got a light attachment on it, especially when you're getting to the point where your eyes don't work as well as they used to. Don't forget, guys, if you like these videos, hit that subscribe button for me. We're really hoping to get towards that 1,000 subscribers, and every subscription will help. Thank you very much. Alright, we'll pin this back on together. There we go, the bottom one, and yep, just as I thought and hoped, we've got a little bit of slack in there, which is what we're going to need. And we'll put the top pin in there. And it looks pretty good. Let's give it a bit of a roll. We want to make sure that we've got clearance there. We're not going to be rubbing against the tyre. And it looks like we've got a good 5-10 mil clearance there. Excellent. So I'm quite happy with that fit now. I think it looks pretty good actually. It almost looks like it should belong there. We'll get the other of these rams cut down and get it fitted onto the other side for you. Once that's all fitted, we look at taking apart the bottom and disconnecting the actual cog ram. So that little section there, that's where the cog ram exists now. I don't expect that cog would be spinning at the same speed as the screw rams, so we don't want them fighting with each other. We don't want to break these. They're only plastic machines, so we will disconnect that and then run purely on these two rams to lift the tub and the tray of the machine. So pin that one in there and we'll pin this one here. Ram fitted on both sides. You see we still have clearance there. And now we have our positives and negatives, which we will lay down inside the body. We'll put a couple of small holes, probably just underneath here, for the wires to feed through into the servo motor, which is located at the back of the machine. Okay, so let's get these screws out. There's quite a few on the bottom of this machine. Keeping them all together, you want to try and keep them in this order or a pattern, whatever is going to make it easier for you when it comes time to put them back together again. We've got actual bottom plate here, so there's a plate that looks after and covers up the drive mechanism. So there's our rear drive for our rear cog. As you can see, they're just plastic. You've got a drive motor there, and we will try at some stage to see if we can't link that set of jewels together so that we end up with not only two-wheel drive but four-wheel drive. Now we'll just disconnect the last of the screws which are under that plate, and then we take it apart from the articulated joint. Now to make sure that, because these are only held in by that plate that we took off, and they could quite easily spring out, so we don't want to be losing those. We don't want them getting dirty. There's already a bit of dirt on that cog at the back there, as you can see. We want to get rid of that so that we don't end up with a similar problem that we had with our loader, where we burnt out the cogs because they got full of grime. So let's lift those up, get them out of the way. We'll put them on the side, keep them nice and clean. There we go. Alright, subscribe guys, I need those subscriptions. Thank you very much, I appreciate it when you're watching these. I really do enjoy taking them apart, trying to figure out how they work. Hope you guys enjoy watching it too. There we go, so we've just got the motor there left. Wonderful. Alright, let's see if we can take this off. Okay, so now we should be able to lift the rear body off. Expand that out. Okay. So that's our rear axle and the wiring to the rear drive motor. I'm just going to gently place that down onto the side. And let's have a look and see what we've got going on inside for the tip motor. Now, of course, you've got your main motor drive just there. And just here, and also here, we have some shut-off switches. So they are switches that, when depressed, they will actually stop power going to that motor. we want our cords here from our drives to feed into that circuit, so that when the body of the tub gets to its maximum reach, these will activate and stop the screws from overturning. Alright, so that's what it looks like on the inside, guys. Our next step will be to trace these two wires here into where they connect to the motor, and then we will snip these wires off here. We will get our soldering iron out. We will feed them through the same process and into where they're being received on that motor. Alright. Okay, that's it for part 1. I'll bring you part 2 of this upgrade. Enjoy the show. MOXEY out.